On the day I said I do, I got a text that shattered everything. "You're fired. Consider it my gift to you." It came from the one person who'd spent months undermining me, my boss's entitled son. He thought he'd humiliate me. Instead, he handed me power I didn't know I had. This isn't just a story about losing a job. It's about reclaiming control, writing the rules, and rising so far above betrayal that even those who tried to break me would have to learn from me. Want to know how I turned a wedding day firing into my greatest victory? If this story moved you, inspired you, or made you think twice about what real strength looks like, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you turned betrayal into power. Stick around. More true stories of resilience are coming soon. They say your wedding day is supposed to be the happiest day of your life. But for me, it started with a promise and ended with a firing text from the man who tried to ruin everything I'd built. I still remember the weight of the bouquet in my hands, the scent of fresh gardenias, the music echoing faintly from the church hall, and the tightness in my cheeks from smiling through so many photos. I'd just become Mrs. Sienna Lewis, married to the love of my life, Damien, when my phone buzzed in my clutch. One message from Griffin Mercer, my new department head, the arrogant son of Charles Mercer, founder of Apex Urban Design, and the man who'd made my professional life hell for the last 3 months. "You're fired. Consider it my gift to you." I froze, literally froze, in the middle of the church vestibule, still in my dress, still wearing my veil, my bouquet now wilting slightly in the summer heat. I stared at that message like it had set my phone on fire. It burned into my memory. Griffin had chosen today, my wedding day, to fire me. No warning, no conversation, no explanation, just cruelty delivered in 10 words or less. I handed the phone to Damien, my brand new husband, expecting his face to twist in rage, ready to storm into Griffin's office first thing Monday morning. But instead, Damien smiled, a knowing, gentle smile. He kissed my trembling hands and whispered, "Check your messages later. Today belongs to us." How could he be so calm? I'd just been fired from my role as lead systems architect at Apex, one of the most prestigious urban design firms in the country, for a position I'd clawed my way into, building proprietary project tracking infrastructure, coordinating multi-million-dollar construction efforts, juggling deadlines, contractors, permits, and chaos, all while maintaining perfect client ratings. It was more than a job. It was my identity, but something in Damien's voice made me pause, so I did something uncharacteristic. I tucked the phone into my maid of honor's purse, swallowed the rising bile in my throat, and walked out through the massive oak doors, hand in hand with my husband, into a shower of rose petals and applause. I smiled, I waved, I laughed for the camera, but I didn't forget. 3 hours later, during our first dance, my maid of honor, Nessa, rushed to the edge of the dance floor. Her eyes were wide. "Sienna, your phone won't stop buzzing. You have over 100 missed calls." I stepped away and retrieved it from her purse. The lock screen was a mess of notifications, missed calls from coworkers from unknown numbers, and 24 from one I knew all too well, Charles Mercer, Griffin's father, the founder, the man who had once told me I was the best thing to ever happen to his company. My stomach flipped. This wasn't just a cruel dismissal. This was a catastrophe unfolding behind the scenes. I could already feel it in my bones. But that's the thing about power. Sometimes you don't know you have it. Not until someone tries to rip it from you. And Griffin had no idea what he'd just done. He hadn't simply fired a difficult employee. He'd severed the one thread holding his father's company together. He thought I'd cry, collapse, maybe even beg. But what he didn't realize was that the system I built at Apex wasn't just code and spreadsheets. It was my fingerprint, designed by me, understood only by me, protected by protocols only I could navigate. And the moment he hit send on that text, he handed me the detonator. What followed? The voicemails, the panic, the unraveling. That's a story for another day. But right then, in my wedding dress, with petals still in my hair and a fire beginning to burn in my chest, I knew one thing for certain. Griffin Mercer had just made the biggest mistake of his career, and I was about to show him exactly what kind of gift I could return. Back at the reception, I danced, I laughed, I posed for pictures under string lights and toasted champagne flutes with my new husband. But inside, I was burning, not with sadness, not with fear, with clarity, because I finally understood something. Griffin didn't just fire me to hurt me. He fired me because he was terrified of what I knew and what I'd built. Let me take you back a little. When I joined Apex Urban Design 2 years ago, the place was running on outdated systems, paper records, and pure chaos. No one tracked project changes properly. Permits went missing, contractors complained about errors, clients grumbled about delays. So Charles Mercer, the original founder, hired me not because I was just another project manager, but because I had something unique. A mind wired for systems. While most people saw floor plans and deadlines, I saw patterns. I built an internal platform from scratch, Core Track. It tracked every architectural plan, permit submission, budget line, change request, vendor invoice, safety compliance report, inspection flag, all in real time. Every project had a digital fingerprint. Every decision left a trace. Every alteration required verification. Within 6 months, project delays dropped by 40%. Client satisfaction skyrocketed. Charles said in front of the entire company, hiring Sienna was the smartest move I've made in 30 years. And that's where I made my mistake. I trusted that my work would speak for itself. I trained 2 junior managers on how to use the system, but I didn't open it up fully. Why? Because Griffin, freshly installed as director by Daddy, kept canceling trainings, calling them unnecessary. He shut down documentation efforts, blocked team-wide access, stripped away everything that core CoreTrack secure. He wanted control, but control without comprehension is just chaos waiting to explode. What I didn't realize at the time, not fully, was why he was doing it. He wasn't just insecure. He was hiding something. 3 months before my wedding, Damien started noticing things. He worked at the city planning office, the front line for permit approvals and safety compliance reviews. One afternoon, he came home quiet. I asked what was wrong. Sina, something's off, he said. The submissions from Apex, especially the ones Griffin signed off on, don't match your team's engineering notes. Structural reinforcements are missing. Fire escapes removed, materials downgraded. I stared at him, stunned. That can't be right. The engineers sign off before we submit. He nodded slowly. I think Griffin's altering the plans after engineering approval. That night, I pulled old internal logs. Sure enough, Griffin had access to multiple project files outside work hours. No change logs, no accountability. just silent revisions. That's when I knew he wasn't just trying to take credit for my work, he was actively endangering public safety. And now, after firing me, Apex had no way to undo the damage, because CoreTrack wasn't just a glorified spreadsheet. It was protected by layers of encryption, redundancies, conditional access paths that required admin clearance only I possessed. I had tried to make it trainable, but Griffin canceled every session, claiming it was too complex to roll out. He thought removing me would give him freedom, but what he actually did was rip out the company's central nervous system. Now, nobody could move forward, not without me. That night I sat alone in the bridal suite, still in my wedding dress, when Damien knocked gently and walked in with 2 slices of cake. "You okay?" he asked. I showed him my phone. 108 missed calls, 13 voicemails from Charles. Damien sat beside me, calm, steady, and then he said something I didn't expect. "You should know, I've been documenting everything Griffin altered, quietly. Every plan, every deviation, every safety cut. It's all time-stamped and backed up in the city's records. I was going to submit the report next week." I blinked. "You were going to report him?" He nodded. "I couldn't let it go, not when it puts lives at risk." I stared at my husband, the man who'd just married me and who had my back before he even put that ring on my finger. It hit me then. Griffin hadn't just fired me, he'd freed me. He'd removed my liability while leaving himself exposed. He thought he'd destroyed me, but all he'd done was put the match in my hand. And the entire company in a room soaked with gasoline? The next morning, as the sun rose over the hills of our honeymoon resort, I held my phone up to the light and listened to the last voicemail from Charles Mercer. His voice was ragged, desperate. "Sienna, please, the system's locked. We can't find the latest renderings. We can't submit the downtown project. The city's threatening to reassign it. I don't know what to do. We need you, please. Call me back." I looked out at the ocean, then at Damien. "What should I do?" I asked. He leaned back in his chair, smiled softly, and said, "Nothing, not today. Today we rest. When we get back, we rebuild. But on your terms." And that's exactly what we did. I thought I'd feel broken. I thought the betrayal, the public humiliation, the severing from a company I'd bled for would leave me shattered. Instead, I felt powerful, not loud, stomping, boardroom table smashing, powerful. No, this was quieter, sharper, like standing in the eye of a storm with fire in your chest and ice in your veins. I wasn't just fired, I was liberated. Because now, the ball was in my court, and the phone wouldn't stop ringing. Day 2 of our honeymoon, Damien and I were sitting on a private balcony in Tulum, sipping cold coconut water under the shade of palm leaves. I was wearing a robe, no makeup, hair messy from the salt air, and still I felt like a queen. My phone buzzed again. Missed call, Charles Mercer. It was the 47th. This time he left a message. "Sienna, name your price. Triple your salary, full benefits, private office. You can oversee every department. Please, come back." I stared at the sea and deleted the voicemail. Not because it wasn't tempting, but because it was too late. The third day, while Damien and I walked barefoot along the beach, he turned to me with that same quiet smile I was starting to realize meant trouble. Or brilliance, usually both. "They'll keep calling," he said. "Of course. So maybe it's time you start your own firm." I stopped walking. Wait, what? He didn't flinch. Think about it. You've built a system that revolutionized how an architecture firm operates. The city's permit office needs that. Every city does. You could consult, work with municipal governments, help catch guys like Griffin before they get anyone hurt. I blinked. He wasn't wrong. I had the experience. I had the contacts. I had the system. And now I had freedom. No more board politics, no more sabotage, just clean lines, clear boundaries, and my own damn name on the letterhead. By the time we returned to the hotel, I'd already scribbled down 3 names for the company. We landed on one by sunrise. CoreCheck Consulting, because the core always cracks first. Back in Chicago a week later, I filed the LLC before we'd even unpacked. The same day the business name went public, I got an email from the city planning office. The subject line read, "Urgent request, potential partnership." They'd heard about the system. They knew I'd left Apex. They wanted to talk. And then, 5 minutes later, my phone rang again. Charles Mercer. For the first time since the firing, I answered. Charles. Thank God we're in crisis. I figured the downtown redevelopment project is dead in the water. Clients are pulling out, the city's threatening sanctions, and Griffin, he hesitated. Griffin has made some serious errors. Sienna, please, name your price. Whatever it is, we'll pay it. I walked to the window, looked out at the streetlights flickering below. I'm no longer available for employment, Charles, I said calmly. I've seat-launched my own firm. There was a pause. Then hire us. Subcontract. Let us be your client. Please. Another silence stretched between us. I let him feel it. My first client is the city, I said softly. I'm creating new verification protocols. Ones that'll catch the kind of corner cutting Griffin did and already submitted. His gasp was audible. Sienna, please. He was jealous. He resented your brilliance. Let me fix this. I almost laughed. You can't fix what you refuse to see. And I hung up. The news hit the industry hard. Apex lost millions. The downtown contract was reassigned. Griffin's name was blacklisted, his architectural license suspended pending investigation. Charles suffered a minor heart attack 2 weeks later. Word got around fast. I didn't gloat. I didn't celebrate. But I didn't shed tears either. Because the truth is, I tried to help. I tried to teach. I tried to build something sustainable. And they tried to silence me. Now I was the one holding the mic. 3 months later, CoreCheck had contracts with 3 municipalities. Damien had been promoted for whistleblowing ethically and accurately. We bought our first home, a fixer-upper with solid bones and limitless potential, just like us. Then, exactly 1 year after my wedding, a cream envelope arrived at my office. Return address, Apex Urban Design. Sender, Charles Mercer. Inside was a handwritten letter, long, careful, honest. He spoke of regret, of rebuilding, of wanting me, not as an employee, but as an external consultant to review their new systems. It ended with, some debts can't be repaid, but accountability begins with acknowledgement. You were right, Sienna. You always were. I read it twice, then showed it to Damien that night over dinner. He studied it in silence, then looked at me. What would be your reason for going? Closure? Vindication? Curiosity? Then maybe you already have your answer. Let me be clear. This wasn't about revenge anymore. This was about building something they couldn't break, something that would outlive egos, outlast sabotage, outshine arrogance. I wasn't returning to the fire. I was bringing the blueprint for something better. I almost didn't go. When Charles's assistant requested that our meeting take place at Apex's downtown office, the very building where I'd poured 2 years of my life into systems, deadlines, and silence, something inside me hesitated. That office had once been my battleground, then my prison, then my grave. But now I was coming back as the architect of something far more powerful. The rules they'd be forced to follow if they wanted to survive. I wasn't walking into a boardroom. I was walking into my own legacy, and I intended to reclaim it. The lobby had changed. New lighting, new receptionist, new smiles. But some things, they still echoed. The hum of tension behind false greetings, the glances that said, "That's her." I was escorted to the main conference room. Inside were 2 men. Charles stood as I entered. Griffin did not. His eyes stayed fixed on the table, just like a coward does when they realize the house they burned down is being rebuilt without them. "Sienna," Charles said, voice heavier, older. "Thank you for coming." I sat, calm, unflinching. "Your letter was unexpected." "So was this year," he replied, "but necessary." He glanced at his son. "Griffin has something to say." Griffin finally looked up. Gone was the smirk, gone the arrogance. What stared back at me was empty, and that scared me more than hate. "I owe you an apology," he said, voice flat but shaking. "I abused my position. I endangered people, and I disrespected everything you built. I was wrong." His words were rehearsed, but the way his hands trembled under the table, that part felt real. Still, I gave him nothing. "Noted," I said coldly, "but irrelevant unless it leads to change." Charles slid a thick folder across the table. "Everything has changed. New review processes, new leadership. Griffin's no longer in management. He's back at the bottom, learning every single part of this business again, properly this time." I opened the folder. What I saw shocked me. They'd replicated core track, or tried to. The bones were there, but the muscle, the instincts, the safeguards, missing. And they knew it, because inside that folder wasn't just a proposal, it was a contract, offering triple my standard rate for a full evaluation and rebuild. "We're not asking you to return," Charles said carefully. "We're asking you to test us, hold us accountable." I was about to speak when Griffin stood. "There's something else," he said, then left the room. He returned holding an envelope and a small flash drive. He placed both in front of me. I opened the envelope. Inside was a check for the exact amount of my wedding expenses. Every detail, even the florals. "How did you—" "Your wedding planner is my cousin's best friend," Charles admitted. I asked for the total. I stared at him, then at the check. "I don't want your money," I said. "Money was never what I lost." Then Griffin placed the flash drive beside it. "This is the original system," he said quietly. "Your build, your architecture. We kept trying to reverse engineer it, but it never worked right without you. This belongs to you. Always did." I stared at the drive. 2 years of my life in something the size of my thumb. It felt like being handed back a piece of my soul. "You prevented anyone from learning it," I said, "then used that ignorance as power." Griffin didn't argue. "I know. That's why I'm asking. To learn, properly, from the beginning. If you'll let me." I exhaled, not forgiveness, Not yet, but maybe the first breath toward it. I'll take the contract, I said. Under conditions. Anything, Charles said. My team will have full access, no interference. And Griffin? I turned to him. You will complete every training module I assign, no matter how tedious or basic. You'll understand the system from foundation to finish. He swallowed. Yes, I understand. I stood gathering my things. And one more thing. I picked up the check, tore it in half, dropped it on the table. You can't repay dignity with dollars. Charles nodded solemnly. Understood. As I left the room, I heard Griffin whisper to his father, Do you think she'll ever forgive me? Charles didn't answer, and I didn't turn back. Later that week, my team entered Apex's systems like surgeons into an open chest. They searched. As I looked over that week, my team entered Apex's systems like surgeons into an open. We examined everything, every error, every shortfall, every buried shortcut that had nearly killed a billion-dollar project. We rebuilt from scratch. Together. And every morning, Griffin sat in the front row of our training sessions. He didn't speak unless spoken to, didn't challenge authority, didn't miss a single note. By month's end, he'd passed the first 3 modules with perfect scores. Small steps, but I was watching because redemption isn't earned in one moment. It's proven over thousands of them, one right decision at a time. It's funny how power doesn't always look like a raised voice or a slammed door. Sometimes power is silence. Sometimes it's choosing not to strike when you have every right to. Sometimes it's walking into a room where you were once humiliated and being the one they wait for. 6 months after I returned as a consultant, the downtown redevelopment project, the one Griffin nearly destroyed, was finally back on track. Not just rebuilt, but reborn. With Korchak Consulting overseeing every submission and system integration, we caught every flaw, every shortcut, every hidden attempt to cut corners before it ever touched concrete. We didn't just prevent collapse, we restored integrity. The city council praised our work. Other firms took notice. Municipalities from across the state requested similar partnerships, and Apex, they followed our protocol to the letter. Because now, the system didn't belong to them, it belonged to me. Griffin, for all his past arrogance, never missed a single module. He sat through every ethics session, every technical breakdown, every painfully detailed seminar on building codes and compliance audits. At first, I watched for signs of the old him, the eye rolls, the smirks, the impatience. But they never came. Instead, I saw something unexpected. Humility. He asked thoughtful questions, stayed after class, shadowed engineers on site. One morning, I arrived early at the job site and found him kneeling next to a structural team, comparing rebar density with approved specs. Clipboard in hand, sweat on his brow. You don't have to do that, I said, surprised. We've got inspectors. He looked up, blinking from the sun. I know, but I want to understand it. Really understand it. I can't lead what I don't respect. For a moment, I saw not the man who had fired me on my wedding day, but the man who might become something better. A few weeks later, my assistant informed me that Charles was considering promoting Griffin to assistant project manager. I didn't say no, but I did set a condition. He had to present the upcoming community update alone, standing in front of the very neighborhood that had once been promised transformation, then handed nothing but dust and delays. That would be the real test. The presentation took place in a high school auditorium, folding chairs packed with residents who'd heard every broken promise over the past 5 years. I sat in the back, unannounced. When Griffin walked on stage, I saw the nerves flicker in his expression, but instead of hiding it, he leaned in. "Good evening. My name is Griffin Mercer. Some of you know me, some of you probably don't like me, and you're not wrong to feel that way." A ripple of silence washed through the crowd. "Last year, I made decisions that compromised this project. I cut corners, I buried changes, and I betrayed your trust." Murmurs grew louder, a few arms crossed. "But this year, I've worked under the people I once ignored. I've taken every training, passed every module, been held accountable by the very system I once tried to bypass. And today, I'm here, not to sell you anything, but to answer your questions. All of them." For the next hour, he did exactly that. Some answers were tough, some he didn't know. But when he didn't know, he said it. Honestly, transparently. "I'll find out," he said more than once. "And I'll follow up myself." And for the first time, the community believed him. Not because he was Mercer's son, but because he'd finally earned his voice. The next day, I got a text. "Thank you for your support on the promotion. I won't let you down." I stared at the screen for a long time, then typed back, "Make sure you don't. Some gifts can't be returned." And I meant it. A year ago, Griffin thought he could destroy me with a text message. Today, I lead the firm that rewrote the rules he now has to live by. I didn't get revenge by tearing him apart. I got it by redefining the game entirely and making him learn every line of the rule book I authored. Some people say forgiveness is a gift. I say it's a contract, and he's still earning the signature. And as for me, I sleep just fine at night, because I know I didn't just get even. I got ahead.